Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is a part 2 video all about securing childcare, securing a nanny here in Dubai or in the UAE in general. So I'll talk you through our experiences with that and hopefully answer some of your questions. Now, when we were originally deciding to move over to Dubai, I joined one of the Facebook groups, British Mums in Dubai. And there are a lot of mums on there recommending nannies that have worked with them and that they obviously highly recommend for other people for whatever reason. Maybe they are leaving, or maybe they don't have capacity for them anymore, or things like that. And so they kind of put not an advert officially, but their recommendation on the group. And then a lot of mums are interested. Obviously, us mums stick together. And if something is recommended by a mum, it's pretty much solid that it's a safe bet. So we kind of started communicating with a nanny before we even got over to Dubai. And we kind of set up a meeting with her virtually. And then we were kind of happy with everything. And we made the plan that, look, we're coming over on this date, on this time. And hopefully you can start with us on X date. And we kind of planned out the whole thing. We did arrive. We kept in contact with her during the whole period of us leading up to us moving. We did actually stick to the original plan. We kind of met up when we got here, we introduced to her, and we did at the same time set up some interviews with some other recommended nannies as well, because we just wanted to make sure that we were making the right decision. And you know that thing where you just don't want to go with the first person you've spoken to because you don't know if you're getting a good deal? It was basically that. So we spoke to a few people, but we just found that some of them just seemed like they weren't that interested in children, if you know what I mean. It was just more of a job to get the money to do what they wanted to do. And we did it's a big move, obviously, and there's a lot to consider. And you do want, at least if you're in a new environment, new place, to have your kids with someone that is warm, but also efficient at what they do and does take some of the weight off of you, because you want childcare to have some leverage, especially if you're both working full time and you do need that, extra pair of hands around the house. And if you're not in a position where a family member can do that for you, then of course, then you would have paid help for that. But there are different options when you're looking for childcare. You can obviously have your child in a nursery. Obviously, above a certain age, they can go to school. They can also have live out help. So help that just comes over in the mornings and does whatever it is that you need doing in terms of getting the kids ready for school, breakfast, all of this, packing their bags, pack lunch, all of that. And then come afterwards as well, after school, pick them up. Depending on how close you live to the school, they can walk over, pick them up, bring them back. You can get nanny drivers. So you can get some nanny childcare individuals that do drive as well. It's harder to find, but you can find them. If they're nanny drivers, that solves quite a lot of problems as well, if you're not living in walking distance to the school. So there are a lot of things to consider. Nanny drivers are typically more expensive than nannies that don't drive. And from what I understand it here, different nannies come at a different cost. There are certain nannies from certain demographics in the world that are more expensive or that are cheaper based on that fact, right? There are certain people that want nannies from a certain part of the world, and that comes with a premium cost. Okay, so without saying anything that might be conceived as being insensitive, that is a thing. So we have tried different nannies. When I say different, we've tried two. But the second one that we currently have is definitely the best fit for us. We have two boys. They're very full of energy and they kind of need the firmness as well. We can't have any help. And it's the same with our family. We do need them to be firm with our kids and not to be too soft with them. Otherwise, they'll just walk all over them. They'll just dance circles around them. So we did need that, reinforcement of our parenting. So it's all down to your style and making sure that the person fits with your values and the way that you like to raise your children, and I guess the routines that you have for them. Some of the mistakes that we made with the original nanny, so with the first nanny, we kind of took things for what they were. I mean, I did get a reference from the person that recommended them, so I felt quite good about that, and she had nothing but good things to say. But we didn't necessarily make our expectations clear, and I think that was our fault. To the extent of, we didn't kind of say, okay, we need help with getting the kids ready for school in this way, or we need the packed lunchbox to look like this, and then taking pictures and giving it to them, or giving them things that they can use as a reference of how we want things to be done. I think we just were very relaxed and were like, this is basically how we're going to do things. Kids are up at this time, we get them ready for school, this and the other. But I think we didn't give clear expectations, which we learned from and subsequently changed. But when it comes to making sure that the kids have something to eat, making sure that the kids are picked up from school and what they do after that time, making sure they're not having too much screen time, we had to kind of just give a lot more input than I think we thought, because of the fact that she had done the job before. So I think we kind of assumed that there was a lot that she was going to kind of show us, because we've never had any house help like that before at all. So it was a new world for us. But actually, they do need like a lot more direction on exactly what you want, because they're very keen to do it as you want it to be done. If you don't really know, then it also can be a cause for contention, I think. But overall, it was a positive experience. Absolutely lovely lady. We didn't have any horror stories or anything like that. It was just more of not the right fit, not the right temperament for our family. And yeah, that's something important as well, like their temperament with kids, with adults, and with getting things done. Otherwise you find that you'll work all day and then you come home and then you're doing everything that you're paying for. So then that can become really difficult. But yeah, without talking in riddles a bit too much, the first experience was a learning curve for us. We were with her, or she was with us rather, for, I want to say 2 months. And then we kind of had a chat that this doesn't seem to be working that well, but we'll give it a few more weeks and we'll see. We kind of want to make sure that this is going to work for the kids as well. But then we gave it some more time and it still didn't work. And we still are in contact, have a great relationship, but it's just not the right fit for our family. So we kind of called it quits there. And then we actually went through a company, Made CC, official company here in the UAE for maids, nannies, cleaners, anything to do with house support and help. And that proved to be a much better experience. We had sort of, I want to say speed dating, but the speed interviews with nannies virtually, that they kind of put everyone forward that was suitable for what we were looking for. We actually wanted a live-in nanny. They shortlisted nannies that would live in, that had the certain skill sets that we wanted. Now that we kind of had the experience, we kind of knew what we wanted a bit more. So they kind of put us in touch with a few. We did all of those interviews and then we were able to choose one. And then we kind of sign up to have that person join our family. And you can select the day and time that you want them to join you, and they literally come to your front door. And then it's sort of a trial basis of seeing how they get on, seeing how they fit in. And I think the positive thing about Made CC, and this is not an ad for them, I'm not endorsed by anyone, but a positive thing about them is that you have an app, and if there are any issues you're having, if you kind of need help with your nanny or your maid learning certain skills, maybe it might be how to make the beds in a certain way, or how to sort out the kids' food in a certain way, or anything like that, ironing, like they send people from their team to come and do lessons with your maid as well to help improve those things, rather than just swapping and changing all the time. So I do quite like that. I haven't needed to use that, by the way, but I think it's really good that they've set it up that way, both for the families and for the employees. I think that's good. So yeah, second time around, this has been a much more positive experience. We were a lot clearer with what we wanted. I took the time to use Canva and create a menu, a weekly menu, what the kids should eat, breakfast, lunch, dinner. And I make sure that all the food is there. I make sure everything is where it should be. I also did, this is the packed lunchbox. I packed the packed lunchboxes. I took a picture of it and I printed it and I give it to her. This is what it should look like. So it's not putting too much expectation on people to remember like so many things. It's easy for us, I think, as mums, we remember there are kids. There's so many details that we're aware of. But if it's a stranger, you also have to kind of account for that. So I did the menu. I did a sort of cleaning schedule, because with the maid, the general maid's duties, it will be kids and it will be keeping the home. That includes laundry, that includes cleaning, that includes cooking. But it's to what extent you want those things. You could choose that you don't want some part of it and you only want one part of it. Especially if you have pets and things as well, then they also have to split that time amongst others. So yeah, so that's basically what we do. We have a schedule for menus, schedule for cleaning, some tasks that are daily, some tasks that are weekly, some tasks that are monthly. And I did input that structure with our maid that we have now, and it's just been so much better, I think, because the expectations are super clear. And we're always on hand anyway. We spend a lot of time with our kids, and it just means that we can actually spend time with them and be present with them instead of always working and not giving them the attention that they need. So I mean, we found it really, really life-changing, I think. So just in summary, I mean, I feel like I've spoken a lot now, but just in summary, we did take a maid by recommendation, but that wasn't the best experience for us. It actually was better going through a company, and this may be different for different people, but I know that we failed to set our expectations very clearly in the first time, and we learned from that, and we changed that the second time, and it's proved to be much better. Like I said, the official company we used is Maid CC. There are a few maids companies out here, and like I said, you can get a maid that does different gives different type of support, but also maids that drive and things like that. So it can cover quite a few needs that you have, depending on how many children you have as well, and different schools or different things that you might need to get them to. That could be helpful. So I hope that answers all the questions, but any questions that you have other than that about it, please drop it in the comments, let me know. And I hope that you can like and subscribe to this channel, and I will keep the content coming for you. Just let me know what you want to know, and I will give you as much content as I can. Thanks so much, and I will see you soon.